I could not follow. Epilogue? Is the game over? It can't be. What? No, I don't believe this for a moment. Epilogue. It's just the end of chapter 3. My goodness. What is this nonsense? Unless somehow that was a fail state, and now I don't see chapters 4 and 5, because I'm assuming that's the same.
Are you alright?
More or less.
And the dragon?
I had to kill it, unfortunately.
I don't... Why?
Philippa enslaved the dragon with her magic. If I'd let it live, we'd surely find it serving the Lodge of Sorceresses. Many more would have died. Before the sorceresses broke the creature's will, it was noble and beautiful in its own way. I'm dead tired of having to choose the lesser evil.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
We never even saw him.
For you.
Waiting.
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
What do you mean, waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kidwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to kill them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
That doesn't sound like anything that Siegfried would do.
Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
Hey, I know what this place is. I got lost here like 18 times recently. No, I'm trying to go to where the thing's stomping. Yes, there's a thing stomping around. Oh, hey. You did the thing while I wasn't there. Great. Go for it.
Roach. Step away from the child. She's of royal blood. Temerian. Too good for you, Horsens. You're an outlaw. Wanted in all the north. Hand over the child and perhaps the king will show you mercy. I piss on Kidweni mercy.
Roach!
Triss! We can't let them have her! This is Foltest's daughter! I've heard enough. Grab them!
Oh, I had the right sword out. Never mind. I really like having these new swords, by the way. If I haven't mentioned it in this episode, they're pretty cool. Hey, we did it.
Deathmold got away. Thanks, Geralt.
Triss needed my help. You know that. The Nilfgaardians outwitted us all.
What are you talking about?
They kidnapped Triss. The Emperor dispatched the Kingslayers using the Lodge as a decoy.
You don't know that. You're just repeating what the last villain told you.
Radovid and Henselt will divide it between them. They've signed the relevant treaty.
It's not lost. Temeria will be reunited. Get the child out of here. Take her far away. Far from the kings, their courts, and their wars. One day, she'll reclaim her heritage.
What about you, Geralt?
I mean, probably not.
A man of his word.
It's personal now.
Is it?
Farewell then, White Wolf. I trust we'll meet again.
Don't tell me this game's ending in 3 chapters.
Well, Roach.
This is insane. I don't believe that this is the end of the game.
Where's Yorvith? How's Yorvith?
I don't. Why do you care?
The reward on his head has never been greater. Those seeking him, the Scoia'tael hunters, will be reinforced. The special forces throughout the north will receive more resources. The Council and the Conclave are assigning several mages to the task. Yorvith is now public enemy number 1.
Why? What? Why is he public enemy number one? What about Sheila? What about Philippa? What did this whole thing happen? But you still care more about Yorvith? This is absurd. Also, how do I get to him? This is the same place. Hey, buddy, help me out. Can I climb you? Can we, like, demagic this? Do I just go through here? Let's try just going through here. Hey, it's a person. It's multiple persons. I mean, I still don't understand the context of what even happened there.
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, though sometimes by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the Royal Soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory.
I don't
Until
believe
time,
that
we
either.
need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So
That's-
Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tansarville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
That could take a while. Sheila's fled Loch Muin via Megascope.
We have time. She cannot hide forever. Sooner or later, she will be ours. Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle. The city will be sealed in 1 hour.
Are you going to give me an arbitrary time limit? Nope, you're just gonna do cutscenes. Hey, speaking of arbitrary, I gained a level at some point. Let's, spend that. Since apparently the game's ending. This makes no sense to me. Okay, this was not the way to go. Hey, I'm just gonna steal some stuff, hope you don't mind. We have to keep it safe from treasure hunters. Was this way? It certainly looks like this way. Hey, buddy. We're not buddies, actually. You were kind of
Wait for me.
just there.
This is between me and him.
You don't have to.
I do. He knows how I lost my memory. Wait for me at the city gate. If I'm not there within the hour, leave without me.
I'm pretty sure it was because you got stabbed with a pitchfork and got taken to possibly the afterlife. It's unclear. Anyway, are we gonna arm wrestle? That'd be awesome. Oh look, you tried to kill Sheila. It didn't work.
Is that Bauble from Sheila's Megascope?
Mm-hmm. My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the Megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
I let her escape.
You're heartless. You've no idea what the Royal Witch Hunters have in store for her. A lot of pain for a long time.
She sounds like she deserves it.
So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
No matter the game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards.
Not if everyone falls before the river.
Moment. But first, vodka.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I only drink with friends.
What about old acquaintances? Eh? Recovered your memory yet?
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
And this triggers something.
Winter Solstice 1270. Midinvern, the Night of Magic. Letho wasn't lying, the hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every Witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our Witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
That makes no sense.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Yeah, the camera zoomed in.
Remember the hanged man's tree in the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
I mean, yeah.
Done talking. Let's finish this.
Wanna fight?
Any vodka left in that bottle?
No, arm wrestle.
A swig apiece. Here.
Probably poison, man. He's probably committing suicide and making you do it too. It's arm wrestle.
The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Netho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you.
Not likely.
Not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was. Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. You'll force me to fight. And this time I'll kill you.
It's kind of the impetus of the entire game, so yeah, let's end this.
As I'll ever be.
I can't believe that this is supposed to be the... What in the world?
You fear death.
I fear drawing the wrong sword.
What does it feel like to be almost dead?
Can I lock on? Can I lock on?
The wolf has teeth. And they're sharp. I'm better.
No, you're not. Look at all this. Look at this. I got the good sword. The good sword wins. I'm so glad that I did whatever I did to get it. I forget. I know I scammed out the silver sword. Okay, please don't have a QT. Oh my. We're gonna have cutscene competence again instead of a QTE. That... Okay, that loaded in a bit late. Oh no, he's clutching his armor, where you hit him in the most heavily armored part of his outfit. But, okay. Oh, the blood splatter's gone. Is this really the end? Please tell me this is not the end, please. Was this like... This can't have been super rushed in development, was it? Like, we're missing an Act 3 here. We just kind of limped into this situation and arbitrarily we get to fight it out or not. I mean, I could kind of understand not wanting to fight him. That was there, but this can't be the end of the game. Oh, it's too late. You got sealed in. You idiots. Oh, let's just walk over to this thing that's never been here before. Okay. Yep, it's a bug. Was that bug supposed to be the moment of, hey, there's still good things in the world? Like, was that what I was supposed to get from that? I don't feel any resolution to this at all.
The Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers.
I forgot that I didn't have Dandelion. I miss him being gone already.
Flotsam remained Temerian, while command of the garrison and town went to a Vizima noble, a sworn enemy of Kedwen and an avid angler. To this day, folk gather round bonfires in Lobendon to hear of the Witcher's deeds.
Okay. Don't care.
The Witcher witnessed a great Kedweni victory in Edirn. At Vergen, Henselt's army crushed Saskia the Dragonslayer's motley force, ending the springtime of races. Soldiers of the Unicorn swarmed over the Pontar Valley. As it had before, powerful Kedwen swallowed Upper Edirn whole. Yet subsequent events would render Henselt's triumph short-lived.
What a shock. It's almost as if it didn't matter.
Clouds had been gathering over Temeria since Foltest's death. Stripped of its king, the land was like a rich cloth which nobles began to shred. These minor scavengers, however, scurried off in fear when true predators reached out for their prize. The summit at Loch Muin sealed the fate of Foltest's realm, when Radovid of Redania and Henselt of Kedwen divided it between them.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't just going to be a separate kingdom with a shared king.
The fall of the council and conclave of mages. The
Did
summit
we?
in Loch Muin re-established both bodies. Their founders sacrificing Sheila de Tanzerville and her accomplices. Yet Radovid also required humility and loyalty from the proud mages, but this did not sit well with all of them.
What a shock.
It was a time of great
Their
uncertainty.
conspiracy to rule the world fell apart, and they didn't like the fact that it had fallen apart.
Days seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate.
What is this sound playing now?
Zoltan resumed the quest
Super loud wind.
and I laid my head in a lapse of
Okay.
Who could
Great.
have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.
This... You're kidding me! This is the end of the game! This... Okay, let me try to process. I feel like I had no hand in the events of Chapter 3. What did I do? I escorted somebody to in a set piece, in a separate instance, separate from Loch Muin, escorted somebody to a boat and heard about a thing about Hensel's children that had never been brought up before. And then I was suddenly supposed to care about it. Then I saved Triss. Yay, go me. Finally saved Triss. And then cutscene, 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 dragon. Cutscene, cutscene, cutscene. Done. Like, saving Roach and Anais at the end wasn't optional. That was just, I guess, the result of being on Roach's side, quote unquote. And then because there was no other way to, like, Letho was completely out of the picture. That, like, the completely arbitrary, he's here now, go fight him. This nonsense that makes no sense, that is like, oh, race don't die, but these ones die, but not this one. This one's special. We have to make a deal with it. where you trade souls, and that means he loses his memory. Is that what... Like, I don't... I don't understand any of that. We got given the we're after Yennefer thing. Yennefer never appears. Yennefer, I guess, is entirely handled in Witcher 3, where they're going to have an even harder time convincing me to bail on Triss, because Triss is, for 2 entire games now. Like, what's the option if you didn't side with Roach? Do you still have Triss with you? Do you go after, Saskia? Is she the romance partner who's the alternative to Triss, like Shani was in, Witcher 1? Is that even... I'm not going to play it again to find out, but holy heck. This is so short. I was worried about this game being so much longer. Because Witcher 1 was what? Either 30 or 40 episodes. Oh my goodness, how many episodes was Witcher 1? And then this, I'm thinking, I'm getting so deep into the game or into the episode count, and I'm still in chapter 3. Look at all this game I have left. Nope. It's all going to be in a cutscene. No decisions required in chapter 3, except to not save Triss? Big old question mark there. Like, if I had done Roach's 40 episodes, Witcher 1, how many episodes is this? Not even. This is gonna be... Like, at the time I'm recording this, there's only 34 up. This might be 2. I might break this up. The epilogue can be still less content. Because it's only 3 chapters. It ended so abruptly. I said in the thread, if they actually have severely divergent paths for Roach and Yorveth, I super appreciate that. That's a really difficult decision for them to make. I guess the consequence of that has to be that they are so divergent that this game is actually 6 chapters and you only play 3 at a time. But that's irrespective. Like, the fact that this ends so abruptly and you have so little control in chapter 3 over your actions. That really feels like they ran out of time. This really feels like it's done. Not as a we have 6 chapters and we've split the time between 2 of them, so there are 3 chapters each. This is... We developed 2 chapter 1s, then 2 chapter 2s, then 2 chapter 3s, except, like, we realized we ran out of time, so we just had to shove things in at the end to make you think that, to wrap up things, not to make you think, but to try to bring things back together. Because, like he said, the dragon was there in the prelude, the prologue, whatever, attacking Foltest troops, and they call out there, why is this dragon doing this specifically? And then we get to this end, like, they obviously wanted to tie the dragon back, but boy, did they do it in the most rushed way possible, giving you the least satisfying half answer of, we didn't control it then, but now we did? And then I'm supposed to feel bad for the dragon and not kill it when it's impaled on a tree trunk? And either going to die slowly and painfully, or still going to be a baddie. It's a dragon. It's not a friendly talking dragon. It doesn't, even the trolls talk to you, and my goodness. The trolls have some character. Why didn't the dragon get character? I don't know why the dragon didn't get character. They didn't have time. It sure feels like they didn't have time anyway. It feels like they got halfway through what they wanted to do and then had to stop. They got chapter 1, chapter 2. I'm trying to recall in my brain. Chapter 1 was Flotsam. Chapter 2 was Pontar Valley. Chapter 3. Oh my goodness, we're out of time. Shove everything into Loch Muin. Put it all in Loch Muin. But we have to take out all the choices. We have to take out the QTEs from the sequence that was obviously designed, directed, whatever you would, directed. You direct a cutscene. Because it's a cinematic. Obviously directed with QTEs in mind. But they couldn't put in the QTEs? And I guess I talked about this. So we can't... There wasn't a time to do a fail state or to figure out a consequence for failure and success. But, Chapter 1, we're given the carrot of Yennefer. Super early. And then... we're given that choice of... do we want to, see Temeria through, or do we bail and go after Yennefer? And we make that choice, and that choice was meaningless. The choice was a nothing choice. Because Yennefer's not even in this game, and Temeria's not even in this game. We had the prologue. Was that, I guess it was a Civil War-ish kind of situation, so that was technically in Temeria. Flotsam is technically in Temeria, but, not really, not in any real sense. We never get a sense of not ownership, affiliation. I can't think of the word that I want to use. My brain is tying me up. There's no sense of, I do this for Temeria. I am loyal to this guy that showed up at the end of Witcher 1. There's just... there were plot threads that they obviously had in mind to be content in this game. It so feels like Geralt should have been able to have some impact on that council, conclave, whatever you want to call it, the gathering of kingdoms, outside of did you kill Henselt last chapter? But really, that's it. I don't understand. I don't understand. What was that supposed to be? What was that scene? It was all cutscene. I can't imagine that it is so very divergent that if I had gone with Roach instead of Triss, that the children would be there and we'd be able to pull them out during that negotiation thing, and the division of Temeria wouldn't have happened. It feels like it still would have happened. We saw the two Temerian nobles who had their own ideological conflict, and they weren't even in that cutscene. Not even in the background. It was this other guy, Natalis, and there was like if they meant for that to be, if there were meant to be trees within trees, I could see how it could grow out of control. And I don't expect the growth out of control, the branches of branches off branches that would have been involved in how did you get to Lochmeen? What was the state of Henselt? That state of Henselt obviously should have been in play, and it was. Did you side with Roach? Did you side with the kids? Did you side with one Baron over the Lord or whatever the other guy's title was? Count. At that point, we're stacking too deep, where there's too many branches, and that should just be it should still be a quest. You should, even if it just changes who's in a cutscene, or even if it's just we meet those characters, and those characters have no bearing at all. And if that is a direct result of just Henselt being alive or dead, that's, again, Chapter 3, we have no decisions to make. That's kind of my issue here, is Chapter 3's decisions were very shallow. The ending seems to have been fixed by the choices I'd already made in Chapter 1 and 2. In Dandelion's little story time, I don't care what he says, but what did he even say about Chapter 3? That I don't even know. I don't know what he said about Chapter 3. Other than the thing that we saw, the division of Temeria between Redania and Kedwin? Eddern? No, Kedwin. I don't remember. My brain is conflating those two things because it was, tossed up and down between in Chapter 2, those I am losing the thread of my head. I am seeing these same thematics over and over again. There's just it's so unsatisfying. So very deeply unsatisfying. Because the only choice that I actually made was going to find Triss instead of helping Roach. And that I don't even know what that even means. Because, no, I could see, maybe I'm getting my head around it. I could see a cutscene of that conclave, treaty, negotiation, whatever, meeting, where instead of Triss busting in, it's Roche busting in, and he's got the kids, but that would break up the treaty between Radovid and Henselt. But how do you tie that back to Sheila? How do you tie that back to the dragon boss fight? How do you... it's almost like they designed themselves into a corner where they had to say, we need all of these options to have consequences, or none of them to have consequences, because we can't like I said, we have the one decision point that feels like it matters, but I don't know how you get to the boss fight, the end with Sheila, the dissolution of the lodge, if all you did was save the kids. And it's like, I guess the consequence of going with Roach is that maybe the son is alive too, as well as Anais, instead of just being Anais alive. But then we have the issue of, in the Chapter 3 teaser at the start, we only saw Anais, and the son was missing, and the whole thing is that the son's carriage went off, and nobody knows where it went, and he might be alive or dead, but he's pretty much dead. But yeah, like this was so... This was just unsatisfying. That, like... Like I said, it feels like there's no third act. Like, Philippa Eilhart entirely off screen. The meeting, treaty, whatever, negotiation at Loch Wayne. We can run around and talk to people about it and just hear various views. But we have no impact on it. We have no agency. And then you have the choice to let Sheila die or not, which doesn't matter, because poof, they're gone from the game. Poof, the lodge is dissolved either way. The knights just start massacring people for, like, no reason. And, like, it's the Order of the Sacred Rose, Flaming Rose, whatever it is, under Siegfried, and then we get a description of, they swarmed in, massacred a bunch of people, and fell into a looting frenzy where they just started raping people and stealing stuff, and now there's all these bodies, and like, that's out of nowhere. Like, they needed something to resolve these lodge issues, because I could totally see Chapter 4 go after Sheila or Philippa, depending on whether you let Sheila live or not. Or just go after Philippa and you might have help from Sheila if you let her live or not. And then Chapter 5, some kind of resolution to the Letho situation, maybe fighting off against Yorvith again, close that loop, the loop between Roach and Yorvith, because we totally got robbed of that at the end of the Chapter 1. Bring some kind of... Because, like, the Saskia Revolution thing resolves off screen for us. Because we didn't side with Roach, we don't see any of that in Chapter 2. That's fine. I would have still liked it to, like, wrap back around, though, in a Chapter 5, where Yorvith, Saskia, Zoltan, like, you get to see these characters as the consequence of you siding against them, and you have some kind of finality, some kind of closure around that, as opposed to it being mentioned off screen. And Zoltan being hand-waved away in a line from Dandelion that I wasn't really paying attention to. So yeah, like, I feel like that's all missing. We just... abrupt, boom, lodge done. It was a bunch of soldiers that are bad, but they did it. And now Letho is sitting here, and Yorvith is a fugitive that everyone cares about. Allegedly. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a moment. Like, how many times did I say in this epilogue, I don't believe that? Like, the internal logic doesn't... it breaks down. Kind of like how Henselt breaks down at the end of Chapter 2 in order to make him an antagonist. Henselt breaks down at the end of Chapter 2 all the conflicts in trying to tie them up so rapidly in cutscene. The whole thing rings false. The whole thing smacks of desperation and cut content and cut deadlines. So yeah, it's like... I don't feel like I played a whole game. I feel like I played half a game, and I should have to pay $20 for the DLC that will give me the rest of the game. You know? It's kind of like those free-to-play narrative MMOs. Like, what is it? Lord of the Rings, I think it was. Where it might have been Dungeons & Dragons. It was one of those, like... allegedly story-heavy ones, where, like, the free-to-play is, like, the up to level 30 or whatever, to a low-level cap, and you get this content, and then you can buy the higher-level content as the premium, as part of, the freemium free-to-play model. But where, like, you get the start, and then you have to buy the end. I feel like I'm in this situation where he needed to buy another chapter or two and actually finish this game. And it's kind of like, remember at the end of Chapter 1, where it's like, not Chapter 1, Witcher 1. At the end of Witcher 1, when What's-His-Face shows up at the very end and is like, give me the soul of the guy you hate, or else? And that's completely arbitrary. And also meaningless because the game's over at that point. And now we had a choice. No, we didn't have a choice. That was a choice, at least. I got to say, no, take him, I don't care. Here, it's told in an animatic flashback that some other thing also wanted a deal, and Geralt made the deal, and that was just a thing that happened that we didn't see. And it's like, why are they kidnapping people? Screw you, we're never going to say that. We will never tell you why. We will never tell you what they were up to, but we have to write an ending. What's the most cliche thing we can think of? Geralt trades his soul for Yennefer's. Because that's what you do. When it's like, oh, we've got your loved one, she's gone to the underworld. Oh no, take me instead. Like that. And then the fact that we're just told about that in an animatic, and we're told, oh, there's a special elf. Like, even that feels rushed and terrible and tacked on compared to Witcher 1's ending cutscene of there's an assassin trying to kill Foltest. Geralt kills him in cutscene. Oh my goodness, it was a Witcher. Or he's got the Witcher eyes. What could it mean? And then we got it in this game, sort of, not really. The only thing we got was Nilfgaard's behind it all. So I guess it was kind of backwards from what I thought, where they would accuse Nilfgaard and it would turn out to be the mages. Except it kind of was the mages also. It's almost like they couldn't decide who the real bad... Like, either everyone's bad and... Either they decided everyone was bad, or they couldn't decide whether to have the mages behind it all, or Nilfgaard behind it all. And they kind of tried to do both. Or it could just be everyone's bad. Which... I don't really feel like if they were going for that, they landed on it. There we go. Something happened. Hey, it's a bunny. How you doing? Is this going to be a cutscene where we meet Yennefer now? Maybe. Nope, it's just a dude. Yep, you put those sticks in a line in this arbitrary spot. Is this going to be the bunny from Monty Python? It's going to rip the dude's throat out? Nope, never mind. Is this going to be the elves get him? What is this going to be? Don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Flotsam, maybe? Is this because I saved the troll? There's a bridge here now? Is the bridge a trap? It's all... What is this? Oh no, it's a thing. Oh look, the bad guys are bad. We're gonna see the bad guys be bad now. Wouldn't that be the twist? You helped save the bridge, therefore Nilfgaard uses it to invade, and everyone dies. If only you had killed that troll. That was the real decision of Witcher 2. Did you kill that one troll in Chapter 1? Oh wait, no, this is an ending cutscene, and Nilfgaard's always the bad guy? So this is gonna happen anyway? Like, is there really an alternative ending for that? Where Saskia wins and therefore Nilfgaard pieces out? Am I supposed to believe that I had influence on that map? No, I don't care about the past. We went over this in Witcher 1, where the whole point of the thing in Witcher 1 was that he wasn't being made by his memories. He was forming his own concrete personality. And we totally backtrack on that. And now we're backtracking on it even harder for Witcher 3. My goodness. This game has left me with so many bad feels. But I do want to thank you all for hanging in with me. And until next time, take care.